Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 29 of the State of the A podcast. Today, we're talking about the entire Falcons 2025 draft class. Their people they actually drafted in the draft, people they went out and signed in the undrafted free agency period. We're talking about all of that right here. So let's kick it off with pick number 15. The first two picks you've heard me talk a lot about, so I'm going to keep it short and sweet with these guys. Jalen Walker failed at 15. 12 and a half sacks, 19 tackles for a loss in 43 games for the Georgia Bulldogs last season. He was the Buckets Award winner and he won the national title with the 2022 squad that demolished TCU in that national championship game. Jalen Walker was a big part of that defense. He was a huge leader. He was big in all aspects to that Georgia program, and I think that he can, if he can come here and bring that same disruption in the pass game, and maybe drop back out the coverage and disrupt everything that way. The Falcons got a young leader, and his name is Jalen Walker. 26. The Falcons drafted. Well, the Falcons traded up, traded first round pick next year, traded their second round pick this year, and I believe one more pick for uh, the 26th pick, and then I think 101 is what he picked up, and we picked up James Pierce Jr. Same story, 19 sacks, 30 tackles for losses in 39 games with Tennessee. He ran a 4.47, which is the fastest time for a D lineman or an edge rusher in the draft this year. 6'5", 243. I feel like the Falcons, even just with the first round alone, they got so much better in terms of the pass rush. Because you look at Jalen Walker, you look at James Pierce. Those are two guys who we know we've struggled with edge coverage. They can come off the edge. Jalen Walker dropping into coverage. You of course have other edge rushers out there. Like you picked up Leonard Floyd, you picked up all these guys, and now you get to add someone who is experienced in playing in big moments and big games against the best competition. Both of these guys, really, they both came out the SEC, the best conference for football, and you get to see this and you get to see how they're going to develop and grow into special players. Day two was a little bit different. We were sitting at 101. Some guy was dropping. So we traded with Philadelphia. We gave up 101 and a 2026 fifth for pick number 96. And with that pick, we went out and picked up Xavier Watts, the safety out of Notre Dame. From what I've heard, this is the amazing pick. This is an amazing pick, amazing value from a guy who was projected to go mid second round, early third round. We got him at the tail end of that third round. 13 interceptions, 13 pass deflections, 135 tackles over the last two seasons. He played at Notre Dame, so he went against really good coverage. He won the Bronco Nagurski Award. I'm assuming that's what how you pronounce that. 2024 consensus All American. This man is going to be a beast. Whether we end up putting him at that second safety spot or we roll him down to nickelback, he's going to be good no matter where you put him. Same thing with this next guy. The fourth round pick, 118, Billy Bowman. 18 interceptions, 12 pass deflections, 179 tackles over the last 3 years. Same story. You have competition for these younger guys, right? You have competition for someone like a D. Alford, someone like a Clark Phillips, someone like DeMarco Helms. You have competition who's coming in who will take your spot if you are lazy. They are willing to work and work and work. You have these young guys going up against these other young guys. Iron sharpens iron. These guys are only going to make each other better. And then with our seventh round pick, we went out and picked up Jack Nelson. Really Mr. Consistent at Wisconsin. He played in all 51 Wisconsin games while he was there. He started in 50 of them. He played in all 51 Wisconsin games, started in 50 of them. He has experience playing all across the O-line. So I'm excited to see what the Falcons do with that, how we move him, where we put him. But I think that, of course, you talk about the draft, the Falcons draft. You're looking at our first three picks: Jalen Walker, James Pierce Jr., and Xavier Watts. But it's important to mark the undrafted free agents because these guys can make an impact, as we've seen over the last couple years. we got ourselves dogs in the undrafted free agency period. Let's start from the top of my list and go down. Simeon Barrow Jr., the D lineman out of Miami. He had 16 sacks over the last 4 years. There was a video of him though, and I was looking, and I found this video while I was looking him up on ESPN. There was a video of him getting into an argument and fighting his teammate on the sideline of the Pop Tart Bowl, which I think is a little bit scary. But I think that when it comes to improving your defensive line, that's kind of something you want. You kind of want him to be a little fiery, especially in that game. At that point, they were down 21-14. When you're losing, you want a guy who's going to go out there and kick ass, right? You're gonna want someone who's gonna light a fire running this defense, and I think that Barrow might be that guy for us. Um, Probably the most notable or second most notable guy on this list, Kobe Bryant, the cornerback out of Kansas. 10 interceptions, 13 pass deflections over the last 3 seasons. You saw that he was heartbroken when he found out that no one was drafting him, and he decided he wanted to come here. So I think Kobe Bryant is one of the guys who will get a roster spot. Um, uh, Come September, I think he will end up on this final roster. And I think that when you do look at this draft, you look at the word is going to be impact. I think that the impact that this draft class is going to have in this team is going to be monumental. I'm not saying Super Bowl bound, but I'm saying I would not be surprised if you saw us make a run next season. Um, Nathan Carter, the running back out of Michigan State, just more competition for. We know how good Tyler Algier is. More competition for that like second, third, fourth running back slot. 2,280 rushing yards, 12 touchdowns over the last 4 years at Michigan State. Then you got Joshua Gray, the offensive lineman out of Oregon State, 6'5", 299. A lot of these guys are just kind of like, we're going to have to see how they do in camp, which I'm excited to go see this year. I think this is the year they're letting fans back inside of Flowery Branch, so I'm excited to go up there and just check on the state of what we're looking at. Of course, I went last year when they went to second year high school. I'm excited to go again this year, hopefully in Flowery Branch, if not some other school that they decide to go to. Um, Nick Kubitz, the linebacker out of North Dakota State University, 158 tackles over the last 3 years. Some more. A lot of these guys really coming in are going to be depth pieces, right? So, like at linebacker, we already have Caden Ellis and Lorenzo Carter and all these guys, but then you just keep on adding people. And I was listening to the Falcons podcast the other day, and they were like, you also forget that we have young people who got hurt, like Braylon Trice. We didn't really get to see Braylon Trice because he got hurt right off the bat. So, it's almost like you still have a rookie on the roster coming in from last year. So it's just going to be really exciting to see which direction this team decides to go in, whether they go and like have these guys generally compete for the starting job or if they have them try to develop a little bit. Interesting to see how that goes. Dante Manning, cornerback, 2 interceptions, 13 pass deflections over the last 4 years. He came out of Oregon. Nothing too special there. The man who is really the big talking point right now is Nick Nash. Ow, fuck. I was trying to close my pen and I did like the sharp end instead of the dull end. Jesus Christ. Nick Nash, 3,200 yards, 16 touchdowns in 2024. How did he go undrafted? I have no clue, but he could be a solid wide receiver 4, maybe even slide into that wide receiver 3 spot and take over Raymond McLeod's spot. We're going to have to see when the season starts. Joshua Simmons, 25 touchdowns over the last 6 years. Kyle Pitts is somebody who's, I don't think we picked his 5th-year option up, did we? We did use his 5th-year option, so we really only have 2 more years of Kyle Pitts left. This is, wait, locked through the 2025 season. So that means that he is done after this year? Yeah, it means he's done after this year. So yeah, we have 1 more year of Kyle Pitts left. This is the year we're going to see. This is contract year. This is the year we're going to see what he's made of. No excuses. Michael Penix is healthy. He's ready to roll. You have no quarterback coming off an injury. How will you respond? If not, we have pieces behind you to take your spot. Quincy Skinner Jr., 809 yards and 8 touchdowns. I feel like the last three guys, Quincy Skinner, Malik Vernon, Jordan Williams, no disrespect to those three. I think they're mainly going to be special teams people, but I'm not sure. We're all going to have to see that when training camp comes along. Of course, there are still a lot of questions with this team, like what's Kirk Cousins going to do? Where is he going to go? Is he going to go to Pittsburgh? Is he going to be the backup quarterback here? What will happen with Kirk Cousins? We have to figure out, like, how exactly this defense is going to work. What are we going to do with Jalen Walker? Are we going to have him rush the passer more? Are we going to have him drop back more? What are we going to do? My friend just hit a bomb on this show. It's foul. He just went off. He hit a towering shot, and it just went foul. But that's besides the point. I'm excited to see what this team looks like when in training camp. I'll be here covering it all off season long. Thank y'all for watching. I'll catch y'all next time with another banger. Peace.